some news stories from Ethiopia. Firstly, we have a statement of the president of Ethiopian Supreme Court for you. The lady Meaza Ashenafi spoke about genocide which was committed in Rwanda in 1994. But the lady is being criticized. Why is that she has not said a single word about ongoing atrocities in Ethiopia? She is issuing very tall statements about Rwanda. Why is she silent about what's happening in Ethiopia? Secondly, Tigray government has at last issued a statement about humanitarian truce declared on the 24th of March. The truce seems to be a means of intensifying the blockade of Tigray. That is what Tigray government is saying. How many aid trucks have entered Tigray so far? The statement is giving us some details. And lastly, Dr. Tedros, head of WHO, as I said in previous video, is in the US. He is highlighting Tigray issue there. We have a video clip for you. He says that the world needs to focus on Tigray as well. Yes, Ukraine needs attention, but the fraction of this attention must be directed towards Tigray. What did he say? We have a video clip for you. 2-minute long video, Dr. Tedros, for you. Firstly, viewers, Meaza Ashenafi is the president of Ethiopian Supreme Court. She has released a statement about the genocide which happened in Rwanda in 1994, in which around 1 million people were killed in just 100 days there. One of the worst genocides in the history of Africa was committed in Rwanda in 1994. She says that let's work together to prevent such a massacre from happening again. We have a responsibility to remember the dead and to protect the living. Now, people are criticizing Ashenafi, Meaza Ashenafi, that she is so concerned about remembering the dead in Rwanda. Why isn't she speaking about what's happening in Ethiopia? Why isn't she speaking about the atrocities committed during Tigray conflict? Has she said a word about ethnic cleansing, about sexual violence, about extrajudicial killings being reported by Ethiopian institutions, by international institutions? We've seen reports from Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, UN Human Rights Commission, Ethiopian Human Rights Commission. All are releasing reports about human rights abuses, ethnic cleansing in Ethiopia. The lady is silent. Why isn't she speaking about Ethiopia? Why is she concerned about remembering the dead in Rwanda? Yes, they should be remembered too. But there is no active genocide happening in Rwanda now. What is happening? It's happening in Ethiopia, which needs your attention. Being president of the Supreme Court, you have responsibility, but she hasn't said a word so far about grave human rights abuses being committed in Ethiopia. Secondly, viewers, Tigray government has at last issued a detailed statement about the truce which was announced on the 24th of March. What is the government saying? How many trucks have entered Tigray so far? The government says that so far 26 aid trucks have made it to Tigray, to Mekelle, capital of Tigray. Secondly, it says that when on the 24th of March the truce was announced, Tigray government back then said that the delivery of aid to Tigray must be speedy. There must be a time frame for this supply of aid to Tigray. but just 26 trucks have entered in Tigray in around 2 weeks. It means, important sentence, it means that Ethiopian government is intensifying the blockade of Tigray while using this truce as a way of buying time. Secondly, Tigray government is frustrated with the statement of some members of international community who say that aid is flowing into Tigray. Government says nothing is entering Tigray, just 26 trucks in 2 weeks, while 100 trucks are needed on daily basis. Again, Tigray government says that political issues and humanitarian issues must not be linked. They are separate issues. And it is urging the international community that it should put pressure upon Ethiopian government that delivery of aid to Tigray must be quicker and speedier. Now we are seeing very visible signs of frustration. Obviously, 26 trucks in 2 weeks means that no aid is entering Tigray. It's close to no aid because the truce is meaningless if just 24 trucks enter Tigray in 2 weeks. While we know that there is no fighting along the road, Samra Makele road is safe for travel. It has been confirmed. ICRC convoy, WFP convoy, it has traveled along this road. Nothing happened. No one attacked it. Then why is that the aid is being slowed down? Its delivery is being slowed down to Tigray. It means that there are some underlying issues which have not been settled so far. As we said in some previous videos, that Ethiopian government wants some counter measures, some actions from Tigray government. It wants withdrawal of some Tigray forces from afar, which is not happening. So far, we have not seen the withdrawal of Tigray forces from anywhere in Afar or in Amhara. And the government is deliberately slowing down the supplies of aid to Tigray. Coming days are very crucial, viewers. If situation does not improve, this truce could completely crumble, which would have serious consequences. We could see resumption of armed hostilities. So before that, international, regional players must intervene. Underlying problems should be sorted out for speed delivery of aid to Tigray. Lastly, viewers, Dr. Tedros is busy in the US. Obviously, the visit is linked to his work as WHO head, but he is making the most of this opportunity. He is highlighting Tigray issue on international stage. A few hours ago, he spoke in the US and he spoke about Tigray conflict. He said that he was out of touch with his relatives in Tigray for around 500 days. He could not send money to them. There is communication blackout. There is no banking there. There is no electricity there. And blockade is ongoing. He talked about Ukraine conflict, but he said that fraction of attention on Ukraine should be diverted towards Tigray. To what did he say? We have a video clip of Dr. Tedros for you. Watch this video from the US. Thank you for watching.
On Tigray, as you know, Tigray has been under siege by Eritrean and Ethiopian forces for more than 500 days now. This is the longest and the worst siege in modern history. Maybe I can personalize it. You may be surprised if I tell you almost all of my relatives who live in Tigray, I haven't spoken to them in 500 days because telecom is cut off. There is no media allowed into Tigray. There is a problem with medicine, access to medicine. There is no medicine. No banking services. Relatives asked for support. I couldn't even send money because there is no banking service. It's basics. It's very tragic. I don't know even what word to use. Of course, the international community is trying, but it's not enough. I cannot compare it with Ukraine. Of course, Ukraine is more problem for the world. And having the right attention on Ukraine is important. I support. But a fraction of that attention to Ethiopia, Tigray, would be needed. Without any exaggeration, for more than 500 days under siege, in darkness, no media, the people who are dying there is unbelievable. I don't know, maybe you have seen people being burned alive, because they were Tigrayans, nothing else. They haven't done anything. People were shot, being shot, maybe you have seen the videos, atrocities.